In this article by Lisa Guenther, she discusses the relation between slavery and pro-abortion advocates in the Black community. She starts by calling attention to propaganda as recent as 2011, of which states the 14th Amendment frees us and abortion enslaves us. The 14th Amendment makes us members of society, and abortion makes us dismembers of society. The Radiance Foundation stands with the leader Ryan Baumberger, who was courageously birthed by his mother, who was raped but chose life for her innocent child. The Life Always Foundation argues that Planned Parenthood supports genocide through carrying out abortions. Virginia's House Bill No. 1 was passed, of which declared that human life and rights starts at conception. Thus, the unborn child deserves the exact same rights as the older member of societies as well. Personhood is called and thought of as the civil rights movement, as Guenther compares it to slavery in her argument. Her argument is that one cannot even fully understand the discourse of abortion's pro-life movement without studying it and situating it with the abolition of slavery first. Therefore, we must practice justice for all as opposed to supporting feminists' 1980s pro-choice politic. Ronald Reagan wrote a book, and he compares the Dred Scott versus Sandford's exclusion of blacks' protection to the exclusion of the fetus's protection. Dred Scott was a black man that was denied freedom during a court hearing because he was told that because he was black, he was not a citizen by law, and therefore his opinion didn't deserve respect in the legal court. This provides that since anyone by law, if they are not citizens, they are not of value. America seems to continue to value sacred values of life as long as it fits into its agenda. Reagan argues that if a fetus isn't worthy of citizenship, then why is a 3-day-old infant or of more value, or anyone else for that matter? Where is the line? Basically, if one respects the black's personhood of community, they must also respect the fetuses as well. Guenther asks the question, what must it take to understand abortion as a death sentence? Like Papadaki, she feels that the person's mindset has to change before action does. Like Shelby, she asks, what is a person by definition? What is sacred life by definition? A slave is confined to belonging to an owner and is denied of autonomy, which is relatable to being objectified by denial of autonomy by that definition. Like a slave, a fetus is not considered human and let alone a citizen, so one could thus extinguish it without consequences. In the 1980s, abortion was considered a white woman's middle-class luxury. Now it's considered a normal way of escaping responsibility through controlling a fetus's own fate. Guenther wants to make it clear that if abortion is the same as slavery, we must wake up and choose to rewrite our shameful history. She finds 3 ways to respond to this issue, similar to Shelby's proposal. 1, we must reject abortion as a sign of a woman's freedom and condemn its strategy of coercion as genocide. 2, we must commit to justice and not ownership of all people. 3, hearts and minds of women must be changed in order to make anything effective differ. Her strengths and weaknesses of this article follow. Guenther takes an interesting and persuading approach to prove abortion wrong. She definitely provides viable evidence of similarities in logic in slavery and abortion. The only weakness in her article could possibly be that she doesn't provide a very strong counter-argument as to why people would choose abortion over other than just a lack of morale, which this kind of makes her argument a little less impressive. But it's definitely strong to say that mindsets have to change, and if they don't change, actions won't. And I like how her article kind of related to Shelby and Papadaki's articles and how she defined what a person was and how she kind of had to ask the question of society, are we willing to change? So, yeah.